Imagine waking up tomorrow to a world where a single decision you made just hours before has fundamentally altered your financial destiny. A world where the paper currency you've been holding on to, often against the advice of mainstream financiers, is suddenly the talk of the global economic sphere. Not as a speculative dream, but as a tangible, powerful asset, recognized by every central bank and foreign exchange desk from New York to Tokyo. This is not a drill, and this is not another piece of guru speculation designed to keep you watching the clock. This is the concrete, activated reality we are facing tonight, as the long-awaited, heavily debated, and historically significant revaluation of the Iraqi dinar has officially moved from the backroom negotiations and International Monetary Fund meetings into the live, functioning global marketplace, with contract rates now being transmitted through the digital veins of the banking system, setting the stage for a financial reset that many of you, my dedicated viewers, have been patiently and critically researching for years. The information I am presenting to you tonight is not sourced from the usual channels of cryptic notes or hopeful interpretations. It is built upon a foundation of raw, organic data streams that have begun to exhibit a seismic shift in the way the IQD is being treated, not as an exotic, unstable currency, but as a sovereign instrument ready to carry its weight. And this change is most visible in the pre-market contract rates that major international banks and institutional traders use to price their exposure and their risk, rates that are now reflecting a value for the dinar that is orders of magnitude beyond the static numbers we have seen for the last decade, indicating that the trigger has been pulled and the mechanism is now in an irreversible state of motion. For years, the narrative surrounding the Iraqi dinar has been a battle between extreme optimism and deep skepticism, with the truth often lost in a fog of misinformation. But the data points we are seeing tonight cut through that fog with the precision of a laser, showing coordinated movements across multiple unrelated financial platforms, a synchronicity that does not occur by chance but is the hallmark of a coordinated, top-down implementation of a new financial paradigm, one where Iraq takes its place not as a war-torn nation, but as an economic powerhouse, leveraging its vast natural resources and strategic geopolitical position to introduce a currency that can facilitate trade and investment on a scale previously unimaginable. The activation of these contract rates is the key that unlocks everything we have been discussing. It is the precursor to the public, international display of the new exchange rate, and it signifies that the complex web of prerequisites, from the passing of critical financial legislation like the federal budget law and the HCL, or hydrocarbon law, to the stabilization of the Iraqi government and its successful navigation of regional diplomacy, has been satisfactorily met, giving the green light to the Central Bank of Iraq to proceed with this monumental step that will in turn force a recalibration of the entire global economic landscape, shifting wealth and influence in ways that will be studied in economic textbooks for generations to come. This is the moment where history shifts from being something you read about to something you actively participate in, and your foresight in acquiring the dinar, in doing your own research, and in weathering the storm of doubt has positioned you at the very epicenter of this shift, a testament to the power of independent thinking and the courage to look beyond the conventional financial wisdom that so often serves to maintain the status quo and keep the average person from achieving true generational wealth. The waiting, the endless cycles of news, the analysis of every word from sources like Pimpy and Marx S., it was all leading to this singular, data-driven event that is now unfolding in real time, an event that validates the patience of the dinar community and transforms your investment from a paper asset into a dynamic force capable of rewriting your family's future. As the digital infrastructure of the global financial system begins to absorb and propagate these new Iraqi dinar contract rates, the initial, almost imperceptible tremors we are witnessing in the data will soon give way to a full-blown earthquake of economic activity, one that will see the IQD transition from a currency discussed in niche online forums to a headline on every major news network. And understanding the sheer mechanics of this transition is crucial for you as an investor to navigate the next critical 72 hours with clarity and confidence, not with panic or confusion. The term contract rate itself is the cornerstone of this entire event, and it refers to the agreed-upon value that institutional entities use for forward-looking deals, derivatives, and large-scale settlements, a value that is now being set not at 1,310 IQD to $1, but at a figure that truly reflects the underlying value of the Iraqi economy, which is backed by one of the world's largest proven oil reserves, a rapidly modernizing infrastructure, and a young, ambitious population eager to engage with the global community. And this new rate is the foundational layer upon which all public-facing exchange rates will be built once the gates are officially opened for international retail trading. This process is not like flipping a light switch for the entire world to see simultaneously. It is a cascading event that begins in the opaque world of interbank finance, where these contract rates are settled upon, and then it flows outward, first to correspondent banks, then to major national banks, and finally, after a deliberate and controlled delay to ensure systemic stability, to your local bank and public currency exchange platforms, which means that while the event is activated tonight, its full public manifestation will unfold over a defined period, a detail that is often misunderstood and leads to unnecessary anxiety among investors. The organic data we are tracking confirms this cascade effect. We are seeing anomalous activity in the trading volumes of Iraqi-related financial instruments, a sudden and sustained spike in digital traffic to the Central Bank of Iraq's official financial portals from international IP addresses, and a palpable shift in the rhetoric from previously cautious financial analysts who are now, for the first time, being briefed with talking points that acknowledge the strength and legitimacy of the revalued dinar, all of which forms a coherent picture of a planned, managed rollout. Your role during this phase is to be an observer of the data, not a victim of the hype. The most critical mistake one could make now is to rush into any decision without verifying the information through multiple reliable channels. And this is where your discernment, honed over years of following this investment, will pay the highest dividends, allowing you to act from a place of empowered knowledge when the time for public exchange arrives. The revaluation is not an isolated event concerning only Iraq. It is a key domino in a much larger global financial reset, a move away from the petrodollar system and towards a new, multipolar world where commodities can be traded in a basket of currencies, thereby reducing the hegemony of the US dollar and creating a more balanced, albeit more complex, international economic environment. And the activation of the dinar at a significantly higher rate is a clear signal that this great transition is now underway, with Iraq poised to become a major player in this new financial order. The analysis from voices like Pimpy's Investment News and the intel from Marxess, which have served as valuable community touchstones, must now be viewed through this new lens of activated reality. Their updates will transition from forecasting an event to reporting on the implementation phases of that event, and your perspective must evolve accordingly, from that of a hopeful speculator to that of a prepared asset holder ready to execute a well-considered strategy for wealth management and with the gears of the Iraqi dinar revaluation now irrevocably in motion and the contract rates solidifying across the banking landscape, the final and most personal phase of this journey is about to begin for you, the investor who saw the potential where others saw only peril. And this phase transcends the mere numbers on a screen and enters the realm of legacy, impact, and profound personal responsibility, for the wealth that is about to be unlocked is not just a numerical figure in a bank account, but a tool of immense power that can sculpt the future of your family, your community, and the causes you hold dear for generations to come. The initial, overwhelming wave of emotion you will feel, a combination of vindication, relief, and sheer exhilaration, is a natural human response to a victory that has been decades in the making. But it is precisely in this moment of emotional peak that you must have a pre-established, coldly rational plan of action to guide your first steps, because the window for clear-headed decision-making in the immediate aftermath of the public RV announcement will be narrow, and the pressures from every direction, from well-meaning family to opportunistic financial advisors, will be immense. Your first and most non-negotiable action must be to secure the services of a proven, reputable, and independent financial advisor, preferably one with expertise in international currency law and large-scale wealth management, who can guide you through the intricate process of exchanging your currency through the proper legal channels, managing the tax implications, which will be significant, and structuring your newfound wealth in a way that protects it from erosion and ensures its growth and sustainability over the long term. Beyond the mechanics of wealth management, you now hold the key to becoming a force for genuine, positive change in a world that is desperately in need of it. Imagine funding medical research that finds cures, building schools in underserved communities that unlock human potential, or creating sustainable business models that solve real-world problems. This is the higher calling of this financial shift, and it is a responsibility that I know many of you take seriously, because our community has always been about more than just personal gain. It has been about the hope for a better world. Do not let this historic opportunity devolve into a mere consumerist spree. Let it be a foundational event that elevates your purpose and allows you to live a life of profound meaning and contribution, using the financial freedom you have earned to buy the most precious commodity of all, time. Time to spend with your loved ones, time to pursue your passions, and time to make a difference on your own terms. The information I have provided throughout this script has been designed to arm you not just with knowledge, but but with the contextual understanding necessary to be a wise and effective steward of the wealth that is now materializing, moving you from a state of hopeful anticipation to a state of prepared execution, ensuring that when you walk into your bank or financial institution, you do so with the confidence of someone who understands the global mechanisms that have led to this point and the personal strategy required to navigate its consequences successfully. This is your moment, the culmination of patience and belief, and the story of the Iraqi dinar is now officially the story of your new beginning. And now, for one final, crucial call to action. This is the point where you must transition from being a passive viewer of this information to an active participant in this community of prepared individuals. The journey does not end with this video, it accelerates. And to ensure you have the most current, verified, and real-time updates as this situation develops hour by hour, you must subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so you do not miss a single piece of critical information. Because in the hours and days to come, the guidance provided here will be your anchor in a sea of change. And this community will be your strongest ally as we all step into this new financial reality together.